It's Stacy Strickler, your life transitions coach, and today I want to talk to you and continue the conversation about self-reflection. And so, over the last 2 days, I've been sharing with you on the topic of the payoff, power, and purpose of self-reflection. And in the first video of this three-part series, I talked about and gave you 4 reasons why self-reflection is an act of extreme self-care. And then in the second video, which was yesterday, I talked to you about the 3 powerful reasons to make self reflection a daily habit for yourself. And so today I want to round out the conversation and speak to you and give you 6 ways self reflection improves your life. And so when you think about self reflection and when you actually practice it and you do it well, it will turn your life around. You heard my story yesterday, and it really was an integral part of my healing and my growth. And so I really want to encourage you to consider making this a part of your life because if, like I said, if done well and if practiced, and if you make it a habit, it will absolutely turn your life around. And so, the first reason and the first way that it self reflection improves your life is that it helps you to focus on your goals. It helps you to focus on your goals. When you are um, uh, reflecting and you're thinking and processing and writing and clearing your head, you get to learn and be able to determine what things you should and should not be focusing on. And once you identify the things that you should be focusing on and the things you can and probably should, no, I don't want to use the word should, but once you focus on the things that you want to focus on, then you can laser in. And by doing this, you'll be able to commit to that aspect of your life. For example, for me, when I practiced my self reflection, I decided that I wanted to focus on my health. And so by doing that, by reflecting and thinking about my life and what I wanted to do next and 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 what areas needed my attention, it was my health. And so I was able to um, focus on my health and focus on doing the things that I needed to do to make my health better, to lose the weight, to learn how to eat better, to move my body and enjoy it. It was actually an enjoyable practice. But none of that would have transpired if I hadn't gone inside to find out what it was that I needed to focus on, what goals did I have for my life and where I wanted to put my focus. And so by by doing self-reflection, it will allow you to hone in and focus on your goals and identify those things that you really want to make a priority in your life. And then you can go to work to fix it, to tweak it, to make it better, to grow from it, all those things. And so this is something that I really focus on and help my clients work through um, in my 6 step series from stuck to started. Because I think what happens is we try to fix every aspect of our lives all at once and we fizzle out, burn out, and then everything falls by the wayside. But if you learn how to identify that maybe one or two things within your life that really needs your attention, and that once you've identified those things, by working on that area or that maybe those two areas, it will overflow into other areas of your life. And so you don't have to necessarily work on all things at the same time, but by working on one or two things, the results and the outcome of working on those one or two things overflows positively into other areas of your life. And so, again, that's something I really help you do in my 6 step series from stuck to started. So, the second thing is that self reflection, it shows you what you can control. It shows you what you can control. There are obviously things in our lives that we can control and things that we cannot. And what gets us tripped up and what messes us up, quite honestly, is focusing on and giving too much energy to the things we can't control. Why are we spending time on things we can't control? Why are we allowing ourselves to get tripped up over the things that we can't control? The goal and what happens when you do self reflection is you're able to identify the things that are within your control to do something about. You are able to identify the things that you have control over to fix or to tweak or to make better or to help you to grow. These things, as I go through my self-reflection, these things right here are those things that I can control. Those things that you can't control, you know it is what it is. And quite honestly, what happens is the things that you can't control, once you focus on those things that you can control, the things that you can't control actually work themselves out. I mean, that's life. And so that's number two. So, A, it helps you to focus on your goals, or I should say, one, it helps you to focus on your goals. Number two, it shows you what you can control. And once you realize that there are things you can control and things you can't, it takes that self-imposed pressure off of ourselves. Like, we put a lot of pressure on ourselves to um, fix things, but again, we tend to focus on the things that we can't fix, the things that we have no control over, and then we start to feel anxious and stressed out, and we start to feel like everything's closing in on us, when what we want to do is focus on and put our energy and our effort into those things that we can control. And self reflection helps you to identify what those things are. Number three is it helps you know what your true values are. Self reflection helps you to know what your true values are. Because self reflection is such an in depth exercise, it allows you to learn what drives you, what makes you tick, what makes you come alive. And so when you're practicing self reflection and you begin to learn and discover what things are truly important to you, what things make you tick, what things make you come alive. And so I encourage you to really, identify those things. Come up with a list of about 10. What are your true values? What things drive you? I'll give you 5 of mine. I'm going to do this off the top of my head. So number 1 is fun. Fun is a true value. It's a core value for me. Like, life to me should be fun. It is not all serious. Um, Another one is um, I'm thinking and I'm thinking. Another one is family. Family is important to me. And so, when I'm planning, my life and when I'm planning activities, I consider, what I can and will be doing with family. Also, I guess this would probably fall under family, but connection is important to me. Connecting with friends, connecting with each of you. Like I'm a connector. I like to connect with people and go beyond the surface. So that's three. Certainly, love is a core value of mine. You know, the love of life in general, the love of people, loving the things that I do. Quite honestly, if I don't love what I'm doing, I'm not very good at it. I'm not very good at it. And then harmony. Harmony is a core value. Like my life has to be in harmony, like not compartmentalized, not sectioned off. Everything has to kind of work together. So those are just five of my core values. What are yours? I encourage you to do some self-reflection and figure out what your core values are. Then the fourth thing about self-reflection is it gives you confidence. It gives you confidence. Self-reflection increases your self confidence because you learn more and more about yourself, and you give yourself permission to show up in your full greatness. Excuse me. And then you're more inclined to do more of the things that fire you up because you're actually enjoying them. When we're not enjoying the things that we're doing, then we're not very confident about doing it. We're not very confident about doing it. And so self-reflection, again, allows you to identify those things that you love, and then the more you do what you love, the more confidence you become about doing it because you're so vested in that thing. And then number five, jumping ahead of myself, number five is that self-reflection helps to reduce stress and anxiety. Self-reflection helps to reduce stress and anxiety. I'm getting ready to make anxiety this multiple syllable word. But self-reflection helps to reduce stress and anxiety, which is stress and anxiety is damaging to our lives because it prevents us from thinking clearly. It prevents us from making decisions because it clouds our judgment. It clouds our judgment. But by practicing self reflection, you'll be able to evaluate some things. You'll be able to assess some things before you take action. So again, it's about processing. It's about processing. And when you sit down and you process and you think some things through, and you have a more um, subjective view on life, then you are better able to make better decisions. You're able to make better decisions, and when you make better decisions, it lowers your stress and it lowers your anxiety levels. And then the sixth thing that self-reflection or the sixth way that self-reflection allows you to improve your life, say that 10 times fast, is that it helps you to sleep better. And I alluded to this in yesterday's um, video, in that When you have a clear head and you have a clear head, clear mind, clear heart, you sleep better. You're not going to sleep with all the issues and challenges and obstacles and issues and all the things swirling around in your head. And so self-reflection allows you to dump those things out so that your thinking isn't clogged and bogged down, and you're not ruminating over issues. And when you do the self-reflection, excuse me, and you're able to clear that fog, you sleep better. And better sleep means a happier you. Better sleep means a more relaxed you. Better sleep means a more focused you. So, making self reflection a habit will allow you to reflect on the happenings of the day. What that day, what transpired in that day, how you were able to manage whatever transpired, and you'll be able to see your growth when you um do some self-reflection, and you notice that maybe your reactions change, where you experience an issue, and at one point you flew off the handle, but as time goes by and you're really focusing on improving your life, and you're really focusing on growing and doing better in your life, you notice that that same incident doesn't affect you the same way. So, again, it just helps you, self reflection just helps you to sort things out, to process things, and it, again, it helps you to sleep better, and it will allow you to get that rest and relaxation that you A, need, and B, deserve. And so those are the 6 ways in which self reflection improves your life. And I'm going to just go back over the 6. Number 1, it helps you to focus on your goals. Number 2, I have my little notes here. Number 2 is it shows you what you can control. 3, it helps you to know what your true values are. 4, it gives you confidence. 5, it reduces stress and anxiety. And then last but certainly not least, these are just 6. There are many, many benefits to self-reflection. But then 6 is it helps you to sleep better. And so I am really hoping that this 3-part series has given you a better perspective on the benefits of self-reflection, and I'm hoping that you are encouraged to practice self-reflection, and practice it in a way that's comfortable and conducive to your life. Certainly I've talked about journaling, but I've also done, I reflect during my walking time. I reflect in the shower. I reflect by maybe bullet pointing my thoughts. So there's all kinds of things. There's meditation, you know, there's all kinds of ways in which you can practice self reflection. But the bottom line is that practicing it improves your life. Practicing it allows you to practice self care. Okay. And it's a very powerful tool. It's an impactful tool that I think each of us should consider using in our lives. So, again, I hope this 3-part series has been beneficial to you. And yeah, it has. I know it has helped me to appreciate, the fact that not take lightly the practice, and realize for myself, you know what? Yeah, it was because of self reflecting and journaling. I've been able to do X, Y, and Z, and A, B, and C. So I do hope that you have the same experience, and I look forward to bringing you more goodness throughout the rest of the week. All right, you guys, have a great one. I'll talk to you soon. Smooches.